over his scuffed American Optical Company goggles and crushed against his skull by an interphone harness. His thick jaw was burned brown, and the tight, deep lines around his mouth were black with dust and sweat that had cemented themselves together. His head turned constantly from side to side, and at intervals he twisted around to look behind him. A speck of white off to his left became a freshly painted, well-maintained signboard nailed to a post planted at the top of a low, rounded rise. He dropped his goggles around his neck and looked at it through his binoculars. It was a hand-lettered sign, in the shape of a skull, not a new sign, but one kept renewed, reading, "No food, no fuel, no women." Custis picked up his command microphone. "Lou," he said to his driver, "you see that thing? Okay, well, ease toward it. Get set for me telling you to stop altogether." He jacked down the command saddle until his face was level with the turret periscope eyepieces and raised the scope until its slim, stiffly flexible length was fully extended above the turret, looking with its many joints like the raised and quivering antenna of something that bred and went to outrageous combat on the red plains of Mars. "Slow now, Lou, slow. Hold it." The car stopped, its motors idling, and the periscope searched over the rise. Joe Custis reached up and pulled the turret hatch shut, close over his head as he sat awkwardly bent down, peering into the scope. On the other side of the rise was a valley. What had been a valley, geologic ages past, was now a broad, shallow bowl into which 10,000 centuries of rain had washed the richest topsoil. And in the valley were fields, and here and there low-humped, grass-grown mounds. There were no lights showing. The fields were empty of movement, but one was half-harrowed, the ground freshly turned, the surface still rich and greasy, until suddenly the marks of the spike harrow turned out of their course and swayed away toward one of the mounds, which was in fact a sod hutment. A farmer had interrupted his work and driven his horse and the precious hand-built harrow into shelter. The driver's voice cut into Joe Custis's headphones. "Want me to move in for a better look?" No, circle around this and let's get back on the old heading. Don't want to go no closer. Might be traps or mines." As Custis lowered the periscope, the car backed away. When it had backtracked to where it had first turned off course, it swung around and began rolling forward again. The whine of the bogie motors built back up its original pitch. Joe Custis threw the hatch back again and raised the seat to its old position. The signboard began to dwindle as the car left it behind. Back on the car's turtle deck, the AA machine gunner's hatch crashed open. Custis turned and looked down. Major Henley, the political officer, pulled himself up, shouting above the dentist's drill whine of the motors, "Custis! What did we stop for?" Joe cupped one hand to his ear, and after a moment Henley kicked himself higher in the hatch, squirmed over the coaming, and scrambled forward up the turtle deck. He braced a foot on the portside track cover and took hold of the grab iron welded to the side of the turret. He looked up at Custis swaying and jouncing. Custis wondered how soon he was going to slip and smash out his teeth on the turret. "What did you stop for?" "Fortified town. Independent. Wanted to look it over. Getting to be a few of those places up this way. Interesting." "What do you mean, independent?" "Don't give a damn for nobody. Only way to get in is to be born there, or have something it would take a cannon to stop. I don't think they got cannon. Would have hit us otherwise, instead of buttoning up the way they did." "I thought you said this was outlaw-controlled territory." Custis nodded. "Except for these towns, it is. Don't see any more open towns, do you?" "I don't see any outlaws either." Custis pointed toward the mountains. "Watching us come at 'em." Henley's eyes twitched west. "How do you know?" "It's where I'd be," Custis explained patiently. "Out here on the grass, I can run rings around 'em, and they know it. Up there, I'm a sitting duck. So that's where they are." "That's pretty smart of them. I suppose a little bird told them we were coming." "Look, Henley, we've been pointing in this direction."